you'll continue to join us, but for the sake of time, we want to respect your time as well and make sure that we give Rachelle lots of time to bring the magic tonight. So we have some new artists that join us. We're so lucky that every week, it seems like we're getting more and more people join our amazing team, and we are so happy to see that. And we want you to keep recruiting and keep bringing people in. So this week, we want to welcome Sarah Beaubien, Sarah Jane Smith, Tara Comartin, Jessica Courtson, Crystal Smith, and Elaine Anderson. If you're on the call or watching through replay, we give you a huge warm welcome, and we are so happy that you decided to join us at Girl Gang, and you are in for a lot of fun. So without further ado, we're going to give Rachelle her time tonight. She's got some really great stuff to talk to us about. For those of you who don't know her, she is the amazing Rachelle Moore. She is one of the top leaders at Girl Gang. She's an artist 6 and comes with years of experience in this direct selling or social selling or whatever your term for calling what we do is. So Rachelle, take it away and give us what you got.
Thank you, Bev. Okay, can you guys hear me? And am I freezing or am I good? No freezing? Okay, awesome. Alrighty, so what I want to do tonight is I just kind of want to stimulate some thought and conversation, kind of go through some things when it comes to doing this business online, right? Because whether you've been comfortable with it or not, we've sort of all been plunged into it just with the way things are these days. And the reality is, no matter what business you have, you need an online presence these days. And so don't let it scare you. But what I want to go through is just kind of talk about general tips. Now, for some of you, you're going to be like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yep, or I do that. And some of you, this might be totally new, okay? But we're going to give some time after for some Q&A where we can all just kind of brainstorm a little bit. But first things first, if you are somebody that is not comfortable with online, the first thing I will tell you is don't go to all kinds of platforms. You will overwhelm yourself. So, probably the most common one to start with is Facebook. And whether you're doing Instagram or you're doing TikTok, you're doing all these things, I would encourage you all, and I think most of you do, but if you don't, you need a Facebook group, okay? Now, you should, when you have done your launch parties, that's the perfect thing to create your VIP group out of. I think that's probably what most of you have done. If you haven't, then get one started. And as you're starting your new artists, just make sure that you're telling them, hey, you know what, go in, change the name and use this as your group, because I'm giving you some great information in your launch to sort of be the base of your group, if you will. But the key, you guys, and you heard us say this, with online, this is so imperative. You need to be consistent, okay? And don't let that overwhelm you. I'm going to give you some tips on how to sort of arrange that, if you will, rather than worrying about it every day. It shouldn't be something that should be on your mind you're worrying about every day. And it's something that you literally, if you block off half an hour of time once a week, you can go in and you can do pre-posts. And then you don't need to be worrying about it, okay? And I mean, I am definitely not going to tell you I am, know everything there is to know about all online by any chance. Is this better? Is that better? I'm just going to share some of the things that I found that are really helpful. And also, I've been chatting with some of the team, people that I know are really building their business online. And it was interesting that we all really agreed on what really seemed to be working. So when I say consistently, you want to be posting, if you can, daily, okay? If not, at least every other day. That, because then, and don't let it scare you if you're not seeing response, okay? Because sometimes it does get quiet, but I can tell you guys, people are watching. And the reality is, the way that social media works, you can guarantee, because I know some of you probably think, well, I've posted about that before, or how many things can I post about? You need to assume that probably 20% maximum of your followers are ever seeing what you post. So you need to be doing things over and over again, okay? So not only do you need to be posting consistently, but you need to be going live consistently. And I know that it seems a little scary, but it's so powerful. If you can go a minimum of once a week, even twice a week. I know some of you are going all the time, but listen, most of you are doing your makeup every day. You know what? Start putting your phone in your bathroom. Remember how Bev talked about the little ring you can order and the little clips. Get those going in your bathroom, you guys. I mean, whatever it takes, don't make it something that has to be some massive production, but just start getting out there and getting and just doing it, because you know what? People want to see you. And the biggest thing is, don't worry about being perfect. I know what it's like when you want to do things really well, and don't worry about trying to wait until you can do it totally amazing. Trust me, you just got to step out, take the plunge. And you know what? People like seeing real. They like seeing authentic. So when you're doing it, be aware. I will tell you, people's attention spans are very short. You really don't want to be doing a lot of half-hour, 45-minute lives. If you can stick to 10, 15 minutes, sometimes even 5, that's good. That doesn't mean that maybe every now and again you do one that's a bit longer and you can, set the stage, set the expectation that it's going to be a little longer. Maybe you're doing advanced hack, whatever it may be, but try to do things more in bite-sized pieces. So maybe one day you're focusing on the brightener. Another day you might be focusing on the contour. You don't have to be doing a full hack every time, but and then, when you hop on, maybe say a little something about what you're doing in your day, because people who are following you like to get to know you. They want to know that you're a real person, that you're like them. Okay. So it's a balance a little bit, right? Because sometimes we can go off on tangents and we don't really you can from time to time, but again, you're going to lose people. So you want to make sure that you're bringing value to them. The other thing that I would tell you is, I'm a person that kind of likes a system. So I have something to follow. So pick themes for your days. You'll notice a lot of us use Makeover Monday, hashtag Makeover Monday. Start using hashtag hack, hashtag eyeshadow looks, hashtag, because if you do that in your groups, then you can tell people, oh my gosh, come be a part of my VIP group. You want to know about eyeshadows? Just type in eyeshadows and they'll pop up. So it's a way for people to search things in your groups if you use the hashtags as well, which is really, really helpful. But so you could do, I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not saying this is what I necessarily do, but this is something that I'm like working on developing, but I'm just going to throw some ideas out there. So you could do Makeover Monday. You could do Tip Tuesday. You could do Win It Wednesday. Maybe you do draws or lives on Wednesdays, and you could do all kinds of things. And I'll kind of give you some ideas on that. You could do live Wednesdays. You could do fun Fridays. And you know what? I don't recommend that you're always selling. You know what? Sometimes you might want to go on and give them a tip, a life hack. Might be something completely unrelated to Saint. But remember, what you want to do is bring value to your followers, not necessarily, and how-tos are definitely received much better than constantly like, buy this, right? So think about what interests the followers you have. And if you have a great tip for something that might not be related to makeup, share it. You know what? They'll love it. The other thing that you want to do, so you can do things that sometimes do boost engagement. Maybe you do like a fun game, or you do a poll, or a lot of time do draws for everybody that posts their before and after. Do draws for everyone that posts a picture when their makeup comes in the mail. So do things that get others sharing. And I recommend going to your customers after you followed up with them, say, hey, would you mind posting a before and after and giving me a testimonial in my group? Most of your happy customers will happily do that. Just ask them, because when they're posting, that's even more powerful than you. Your hosts, when they get that product, let them know, here's the value of what you got. Here's what you paid. When it comes, will you take a picture? I know Tracy had an amazing testimonial that I'm totally borrowing from her one day in my VIP group, because she had a host go on and it was incredible. Like when you read it, you were like, oh my gosh, I want to have a show. And it's so much more powerful than Tracy going and saying, who wants to do a class? You know what I mean? By having somebody talk about just what it was like to have a class, what they got, that kind of a thing. And then another great thing is ask your team members. Maybe you have hooded eyes, but you want to have an eyeshadow tutorial of someone that doesn't. Ask a team member if they'll come on and do a quick 5-minute tutorial for you. Maybe you don't have mature skin. Maybe they do. Maybe someone that's really good with lip colors and bright colors, and you're more of a neutral person. So ask some people to come and be guests for you. So just and the best thing you can do is each month maybe think of a theme. But again, if you have what you do daily, it becomes much easier say on the weekend, Sunday night, you take that half hour and you're like, okay, I need, and start saving. As you see before and afters, create a before and after folder in your phone. So then when Makeover Monday comes, you can go grab that. You see a great tip online, borrow and repurpose from people. But as we always tell you, make it sound like you and change it up so that we can trick Facebook, and Facebook doesn't think that we're posting all the same things. But you see a great tip, make a little Tip Tuesday folder in your phone, and then you can just grab from there. And as you start getting yourself organized, it doesn't need to take you very long. And I'm sure most of you have used it, but when you create a post in Facebook, you can schedule it. So or you can use Visly even for your VIP group and go in and create them as well. I just find for my VIP group, it's quick and easy. I see something, I go throw it in as a pre-post, like a post coming up. And then I don't have to worry about it. And I know that I've got content coming. So anyways, that was a lot. I hope I didn't freeze, but now I just want to just open it up. If you guys would like to ask questions, or you had something you did that just worked incredible, please feel free to jump in and share with us.
I think it was huge starting with the online presence and keeping it simple. Sometimes I think we get overwhelmed with thinking, okay, I've got to go here and here, and what about this platform, and what about that, and now there's TikTok, and now there's, so keeping it simple is huge. What do you guys think about that?
And also, if you post something on Facebook, you can post the same thing on Instagram, the same thing. Like, don't feel like you got to be doing different things on all, because you guys, here's the reality. Social media is changing, and we're going to be getting more and more platforms out there, and you're going to have people in all different kinds of platforms. So just when you get a good post, push it across the platforms. Don't feel like you have to do different on all of them.
And that's sometimes too about consistency, even though you're putting it on all of them, as long as you're sharing somewhere, you kind of get to know your audience and just keep it with, if Facebook is an older crowd or Instagram is, a different type personality.
Oh yeah, different people will see it on different feeds. Yeah. Exactly.
Unmute yourselves, you guys, if you've got questions, and let's have a chat, because this is where it gets magic.
Well, I like all of them. They're talking about how lives are so important and how it is scary at first to go live. I totally agree with you guys. I remember the first time I saw someone do a video and they were like, hey, you need to do a video. I thought, are you crazy? I can't do a video, because we all know when you feel like you're talking to the wall, and it just feels so strange, and you become really self-aware. But trust me, you guys, once you get used to it, it's amazing how you can just talk to yourself. Right, ladies?
So Rachel, I'll unmute myself since no one's jumping in. It's Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
So I'll tell you guys, I was struggling with something to do in my group, and I talked to Tracy at great lengths about this, and I started doing Wine Wednesdays for the simple fact that I'm an expert in wine, because that's what I teach at the college. So we started with the history of wine, and then I'm going like we did wine labels 2 weeks ago, and last week I did an Ontario wine. So what I'm doing, and obviously you're not going to do wine if that's not your area, but this is, I'm what they call a subject matter expert in it. So I put a picture on Sunday or Monday, told them they can go to the LCBO, buy that bottle of wine, have it with me. A lot of people haven't been doing it at the same time as me, but I've been getting pictures sent to me like on the weekend where people are like, hey, I had this wine with a charcuterie board, and I drank some with my sister. So I'm giving it a few weeks and kind of seeing how it goes, but trying to make that a value add in my group.
I think that's brilliant. If you say you're really great at organizing, maybe you have like an organized Friday, or I love that Wine Wednesday. It doesn't have to have anything to do with makeup on that day. It can be something that you're bringing value. I think that's amazing. Exactly. That's
so
what
I told Jody's on my team. She's in here. I told her to start doing like a nurse thing, because she's a nurse, right? But I said, do funny things like, see this car? There's only one place this car should go, right? Like, or this is how you wash your hands, but create some humor around it. I'm sure there's other nurses in the group as well, but show proper hand washing, and see this elbow, this is what goes in your ear, like whatever it is to make the people laugh, and whatever your your area is, right? That you're good at.
Great to
So,
go with your themes, Rachel.
yeah, there you go.
Exactly. And then it's much easier to create content when you know, okay, this is what I'm focusing on today. And speaking of Beth, your eyes are the topic of the chat. They'd like to know what
I
colors.
haven't got my glasses on. I can't see. Okay, my eyes tonight are, I started with Mama, and then I did Leo, and I did Miha in the V or the reverse 7, but it wasn't dark enough. So then I deepened it with some Philly, and then on my lid I have Soulmate and then Salem as liner.
Not, very simple. Just a
Well,
starter.
just a little bit of a springy kind of color, right?
It looks really good. I'm just teasing.
Okay.
Just 7 colors.
My tradition, or not my tradition, my habit maybe, that I usually do 4, but I wasn't happy with Miha, so I just used some Philly to kind of deepen it.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Thank you, girls. Whoever, I still need to read whoever noticed that.
I just unmuted myself. It's Tammy. I don't have my camera on because I am a hot mess tonight. But I find in my group, so I have a different theme every day of the week. And I only share about Saint on Saint Sunday. And I just think that the more personal and the more real you can be in your group, people love it. Like I have got over 700 women in my group now, and I just started in November, and a lot of it is because I've shared about my journey this past year with them, and they learn to know and trust, and yeah, it's incredible.
That's awesome, Tammy. Thanks for sharing. You're right. People just, and right now, because of COVID in this past year and how challenging it's been to connect with people are looking for that connection just wherever they can get it. So for sure, that's so powerful.
Someone had commented, Stephanie, saying that there's a content calendar that Kate Twig put out there as well in the Google Drive, and that is great if you're looking for ideas.
Yeah, take something like that, and then if you want to change things up, you can, but that's a nice starting point.
Right,
Yeah.
just to get some ideas flowing, because sometimes it's about being creative like Tammy is, and doing something different every day. If you're using your area of expertise, I never thought about that. Maybe I could go on and talk about real estate stuff, especially in this heated market. So yeah, it is great ideas.
Exactly.
It's Tara. I unmuted. I've been doing a showcase Saturday or Sunday, so that I can showcase a product. I did go on the last time and do an actual live to just do a quick, like 5-minute, this is what I'm talking about. And the other thing that I do is to go along with what Rachel said for Fridays, I sometimes do flashback Fridays because I absolutely love music. So I'll go in and I'll find music that is, from the year I was born, or when I was 16 years old, and I'll use that year and what was top on the charts, and then I'll post it and do you remember this and that kind of thing. Or so flashback Friday or fun facts, where I just put a random fact out. So those are a couple of views.
That's amazing.
I was thinking Fashion Friday would be fun too. Like just
yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, that's exactly what I mean. You all have things that you're passionate about. Maybe, and I love Rachel, it's wine. Maybe some of you, it might be, you might have mom hacks or time-saving hacks or organization hacks, or, it can be anything.
Cocktails or coffee.
Here we go. Actually, there's a person on TikTok that's all they do, and it is the most mesmerizing channel, and they show a different drink every day, and they often mimic the ones they make at Starbucks, and they have so many followers, and they just make drinks every day.
You could do like a foodie Friday too, if you're like big into food and cooking, or Rachel, like the charcuterie boards and stuff like that. You could do that.
Totally.
Never know what's going to go viral or what's going to make you, attract that tribe.
So I did a vote in my group, and this might be something that people want to do. So I put a vote out, which it can also bite you in the butt if it's not the thing you want to do. So mine was Wine Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays, Food and Fun Facts Friday, or all about skincare. And they picked Food and Fun Facts Friday, and I was like, oh no. Because
Definitely what you want to do, you better put it in there.
well, I mean, I run a fine dining restaurant, right? But I don't cook the food. So I can give you a recipe, but I'm not sitting there cooking it for you. So I figured I would
Please.
bring it in once in a while for it, right? But I'm a pretty humorous person. So for me, like anything that I see funny in the saint things, I put those in. Like there's a picture of a man holding a sign that says, not homeless, my wife just loves saint. So I get a lot of people like comment on those things in mine, and I don't really care what they're commenting about. I just want them to comment, right? Or like things or whatever. So most of my posts are not like inspirational. They're humor kind of posts, right? But that's my personality, and that kind of works for me, right? I just think people need to not overthink what they're doing.
Well,
and
you could also bring in some other people. Like actually you made me think of, so Tracy McKenzie, she's going to be doing Pampered Chef. You could have her come on and show some fun things in your group, right? Like one day that could be something fun, like on Fridays.
Right.
Here's a really fun drinks and appies, and have her come in and show it.
Yeah, a lot of girls have done like party, like group swaps, or what do they call it? I think Becky Bickers is one that started it, and she's on here. Maybe she'd be better qualified to speak to it. Are you here, Becky?
Yeah, I'm here. So yeah, I've done group swaps with people where they've come into my VIP group and just kind of shared their business, and I go into theirs. And it's just a great way because the people in their VIP groups are like, you know, people that like to support other women, and the same with my VIP group. And it's just kind of networking a little bit more. And I've definitely picked up a few really awesome teamies that way too, because they're already in that network marketing. They understand, and then they get their saint and they're like, holy shit, this is amazing. I need in on this.
Is it a one-day thing, Becky, typically?
It just depends. Like sometimes it's a one day. I'm in one right now, and she like I did the one day, and then she's like, you can take a couple more days. So it just depends.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Love
That's
it.
So guys, it's Kelly here. So that's what one of my questions was going to be, is if we can help support other businesses within our groups.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's totally up to you. I've definitely selected businesses that aren't going to take away from my business. So I want to make sure that it's things that are like different, but you know, you can run it however you want to run
Okay.
it.
That's what my big thing is for my group, is I wanted to be like empowering other women and helping each other like succeed in our own businesses.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend bringing in another makeup line. That would be kind
No.
of bizarre. But yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Skincare, but I think like Rachel said in the beginning, keeping it authentic, and Rachel brought that in as well, that when we're authentic to who we really are and what our area of expertise is, it's easy to talk on a subject that you're familiar with. So for Rachel to talk on wine, I want to be in that class. Why don't you do that one night for us and do a little girl gang training or something, Rachel, and let us have a little taste of, pardon the pun, but maybe
I
we
actually
might have
just thought about what might be a fun thing to do. If we made a post that everyone put their area of expertise, like I was just thinking, it might be fun to get Bev to come in my group and talk about real estate. Right? And somebody else might know, like we all have something besides
Right.
makeup that is our strong suit, right? So
Right.
if we had a post, because we don't all know each other, but if you had a post where you could pick people and say, can
Mhm.
you show us something that's like hair? Like Carrie does hair. I don't do hair, right? Someone could maybe come in and do some fun, cool thing that's not makeup related, like a value add, right?
Mhm.
I just had this massive brainstorm. Wouldn't
That's
it be really cool if our next girl gang customer event was like a wine and contour, and Rachel was the wine expert?
I
Think
think
of all the people.
You could do like a different wine, pair it with your contour, pair it with the bright, pair it with the main.
Everything's coming up, Rachel.
Nothing like putting Rachel on the spot.
Wine connoisseur and contour.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're
Rachel
on to
is never
something.
gonna speak
Wow.
again on these calls, just so you know.
That could really grow because then it could be cocktails another time, or like we'd said earlier, coffee
So,
another time.
I was gonna say what I did say in my group though, the first week I taught them how to drink wine properly with tea, because there are people that don't drink as well, right?
Excellent.
So we need to be aware. So I am having I don't know those people either, Tracy,
Yeah.
don't worry. We are having a mocktail day, and I will have an extensive coffee day and tea day in my group as well. But yeah, it is
And
something.
people,
I'm still kind of working it out, right? To see kind of what's gonna work the best. But it was just something I'm doing that's different.
awesome. Anybody else have any
I'm gonna
ideas?
share one of the things that I kind of stole from Tracy Donald, and I don't know if it's gonna work yet or not, but I'm gonna share what I'm gonna do with it. Is because in Tracy's group, I was like so impressed how many of her customers drop pictures of like, oh my gosh, I got Happy Mail today, and like I called her and I was like, did you ask these people to start posting when they got their saint delivered to them? And she said, no, they just started sharing like pictures of their Happy Mail. So I started today, kind of messed it up, but I started today an email campaign to my customers. And in there, in like the first thank you for your purchase, I've put that, you know, if you put a picture when you get your Happy Mail on my Saint group, I'm going to put you in for my monthly draw. And then the follow-up email that they get within 10 days asks them if they put a selfie on my group, they get it in for a draw. So I think it's awesome. Like I looked at her group and I was like, wow, this is huge. The fact when you have customers posting and posting, like that is incredible instead of just yourself posting. So I thought I'm just going to take it and put it into my little follow-up emails and see if I can get the trend happening on my page.
So good. You guys, we're going to wrap it up just because of the sake of time, and there's a little bit of housekeeping to do, unless somebody has something burning that they were waiting their turn and didn't get to speak.
I kind of just wanted to jump in as a
Okay,
new,
honey. Yeah.
because I know when I started, a lot of these ideas are awesome, but I didn't really have customers yet. So my number one tip, just keep doing them. My very first live, I talked to my window. And then my second one, maybe I had 2 or 3. I usually have about 7 or 8 now. And honestly, I talk about everything, and these little guys bark almost every single one. And I have people now, I just roll with it. Whatever happens, this one freaks out because somebody walks by the window. I have people now that ask me, where's Sprout? Her name's Sprout. So I'll turn the camera and show them Sprout sitting beside me. And my very first Takeover Tuesday, I did at the barn with my colt that I'm starting. And I jumped on in my ball cap at the barn holding my colt. And I said, you guys might get a really exciting live. This is the 4th time she's had a saddle on. And then I went into whatever I decided to talk about that day. And that's my most watched live. So don't stress if you're not an expert in something, and don't stress if there's nobody. Act like there is, and just carry on and keep doing them. And eventually people start watching.
That is so good. Thank you for sharing. Thank you everybody for sharing. Honestly, I don't know if you all got out of it like I did, but isn't it amazing how when we brainstorm like this, we can kind of come up with all sorts of ideas that I bet everybody is sitting there with something going through their brain like, oh, okay, I can do that. Because even I didn't think about going on and talking about real estate because it's boring to me because I do it every day. But to hear Rachel say, you know, about wine, I'm thinking, oh, I'd like that. So then it just makes you think, what are your areas of, you know, expertise or areas of interest even? And like Rachel said, you know, keeping it so that you're authentic, that you're coming across as your true self, that is huge in anything. Thank you, Rachel, for bringing all those amazing tips and ideas. It was so great as always. And thank you everybody for participating. in all of that. So our next area is going to be so much fun, but like everything, it's only fun if you participate. So tomorrow, tickets go on sale for the reunion in San Diego. Who is going? Who is coming with us? Get in the chat, let us know. And I am just going to encourage you. I know Tracy did a video earlier tonight talking about it, but I want to tell you from my own experience, when I bought my ticket, it was when we first signed up last year, we had it was a virtual reunion because obviously COVID was everywhere and the US was shut down as well. So they did it virtually. And we took part, and then we were able to buy our tickets then. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I go to LA every year for REMAX conferences around that same time. And it ended up that it was like a week apart. And I said to Tracy, like, I don't know. And she's like, Bev, buy a ticket. Trust me, by the time it rolls around, you will be sorry. And I have to tell you that I'm kind of thinking maybe I won't bother going to the real estate one because it is just a week apart if we're able to go. But the beauty with Saint is that if something happens that the border's not open and we're not able to go, you can get a refund. Tracy checked into it, and you know that is an option. So don't fret. Last year they did make some concessions and let us do it virtually. I'm not saying they'll do that this year because this year there will be an actual event happening because the Americans can go. So for you Canadians who are on the fence and unsure, take it from me that by the time September rolls around, you have no idea where your business is going to be. But I tell you, you'll have regrets if you don't buy the ticket and you can't get one. Because when I signed up, Tracy had her ticket, Rachel and Desiree were on a wait list, and I got on that wait list as fast as time. And then things changed and whatever, but it's $199 US. And I know for some people that can sound like a lot of money, but whatever you got to do to make that work, worry about the plane ticket, worry about the hotel, worry about the details another time. But tomorrow tickets are going on sale. They probably won't last. We don't really know how to predict how long they will last, but we've been told there's not a lot of tickets and there's now 23,000 plus of us. So I do encourage you to grab a ticket if you can at all. And we are going to light that place up and have so much fun. I cannot wait to see Girl Gang represented there. So who's planning on buying? Who's planning to go? Let's encourage each other. We'll worry about the rest of the details and we'll help you get roomies and all that kind of stuff after the fact. I see that Tracy shared the link. So the link is available in Saint Gallery. Tomorrow you'll be able to buy, or on Telegram under Saint Artist. So if you're in Telegram, the Saint Artist, the link will be there and it'll also be shared in Girl Gang. So there's no reason to not find the link. Set your alarm. She's prompting me here. I don't know if she's meaning that or she's meaning it for you, but set your alarm and get out there. So then our next big thing is Tuesday. Goodness gracious. Thursday is the 25th, and it is Canada's second anniversary. Isn't it crazy to think that we have only been in Canada 2 years and we are taking it by storm? And I'm sorry for our American sisters who are here, but they are doing a promotion for Canadian purchases. If you purchase $75, plus tax, of course. So before tax, you will get a Summer Love lip and cheek. I started out the night by wearing Summer Love just so that you could see it. So you'll get a free Summer Love lip and cheek in with your order. So post it on your page. Again, it's over in Saint Gallery or in the Saint Artist on Telegram, where you can grab a graphic. And I know a lot of you have already been sharing. There's some different ones made. Get your hands on one, let your customers know about it. And if you're not active for the month, that is your day, you guys, to really push and, utilize that promotion to get yourselves over that hump and get active for the month. And maybe it's to drive yourself to that next commission level. So utilize what's available for us and do that. And tomorrow, is Tuesday. So that's Teamy Tip Tuesday. And I know that Becky is going to be coming up with something for us tomorrow. So make sure you check that out. And if you've got amazing ideas and maybe you have something you're watching through replay and you didn't get to kind of come up with ideas in the Q&A, that's your opportunity tomorrow to go on the Girl Gang page and share with all of us, right? We love these ideas. Everybody can get their own juices flowing, and we can, utilize something that Rachel said tonight, resonated with me, and I'm sure with all of you. So the same thing, you never know when you might post something that will strike up something for someone else. And honestly, you guys, I'm just going to end by saying it's those little things that you can do that can really snowball this business. It's so unpredictable. And I'm speaking, from experience. I started off, with no experience and not really sure where this would go, and had really no aspirations of where it would go other than I wanted to have fun. But one little thing that you do can change your business and change your life. So it's really worth it to put the effort in and to think about something that might resonate with you, that maybe a group of followers would enjoy. And plus, what I started with was just going to have fun. That makes it fun. And when you have fun, sky's the limit. Oh, Tracy is saying that artists can offer their US customers if they want. She's going to. So if anybody in the US is buying from Tracy, she's going to, go ahead and order them a lip and cheek on her. So it might be something you want to consider. I know there were some US artists that were asking. And sadly, it's, something to promote the fact that we're 2 years in Canada. And even though we're the same, we are different countries. So it is something that they're doing to celebrate the fact that Canada or Canadian artists have been here 2 years, or the program has been in Canada for 2 years. So that brings us to the end of our night. It was amazing. And I think we all got something. I know I'm going to go to bed tonight with some ideas stewing in my head of what I want to do. I'm going to end it by saying that I think being consistent in your group, like Rachel said, and just kind of not dropping the ball. Make sure you're posting something every day, whether it's a live, whether it's a video, or whether it's a scripted post that you find somewhere, a graphic, or it's you going in talking about God and the world. Like, just talk in your group, let your people get to know you, and have a great.
Can I add one thing?
Absolutely.
One thing we kind of forgot to have you put on this. Amazing event this weekend, you guys, with our Meet Saint Girl Gang. Just in case you missed this, that group is not going anywhere. That is now the place that if you have a prospect, that's where you plant them. And then just tell them to take their time and peruse the videos. And I would say, ask them to look at least 3 or 4 videos, because they're all fairly quick, and come back to you with the thing that 3 things they love the most. And every Wednesday, okay, there's going to be a new artist testimonial, not new artist, but like a new person doing a testimonial. So this Wednesday, it's going to be the incredible Becky Biggers. And we will have a lineup as we go down. So we'll be alternating between leaders and seasoned artists. New artists is going to be a good conundrum of people, so that we're going to eventually have all of your stories in that group. How amazing will that be? And so just an FYI, that group is now there for you. Pin it to your groups, and that is your landing page to put your prospects. So good job this weekend, you guys. It was amazing.
That's awesome. I don't know why I didn't even think about bringing up that. It was amazing all weekend.
I almost didn't either.
We did get new artists sign up from it, but more importantly, the idea that that's our own place now for new or prospective clients or customers or artists to go and get information. So it's going to be something that's invaluable for all of us for sure. And you're all going to get to share your story there at one time or another.
And
So
a huge thank you to Desiree and Tracy, who put so much time into making that happen. So thank you guys.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody. Have a
Oh,
great.
can I say one thing? I actually just wondered if I saw something. I'll try to send it maybe to Tracy in one of the other groups, where it was just kind of a picture of a person, and there was a neat little frame around it, and it said what they like. school teacher or corporate worker or, bank teller or real estate agent or whatever, all these different occupations that people were, and that they're saint artists, just kind of showing that, because people make assumptions, right? In that, like, well, I couldn't do that. I work full time, or all that kind of stuff. And I wondered if we might, for that Meet Saint group, I wonder if we might want to think of, doing something like that, and even in the albums, so the feed doesn't get posted up, but even just put the pictures in the albums. And then if somebody's like, a school teacher, they can go there and they see all these school teachers or whatever, and they're like, oh, gee, like it just makes it relatable, eh?
That's a great idea. I think we already have those because we did them already. Do we not, Trace?
We did.
But
them
in
all.
our Saint group?
No.
Or girl Saint?
And I think most people too, just to keep it simple, because there's so much administration that goes into it. Even when people go live, if you could just put your name, what you were or are, that would even make it simple, and at least people could see really quickly.
Mhm. Have a great week, everybody. Great call. Thank you all.